Imagine waking up every morning with a clear purpose, a sharp mind, and an unshakable sense of focus. But instead, you find yourself trapped in a cycle of distractions, your phone buzzing with notifications, your mind clouded with self-doubt, and your energy drained by endless comparisons. You start the day with good intentions, yet by evening, you wonder where the time went. Sound familiar? If you've ever struggled with procrastination, lack of motivation, or feeling lost in an overwhelming world, you are not alone. In today's fast-paced society, our minds are constantly under attack. Social media pulls us in 100 different directions. Pressure from work and relationships leaves us mentally exhausted, and our inner critic whispers doubts that keep us from reaching our full potential. But what if I told you that over 2,600 years ago, Buddhist masters discovered a way to break free from this chaos? They didn't just study focus, they mastered it. They learned how to silence distractions, cultivate inner peace, and achieve an unwavering sense of clarity. The truth is, focus is not about willpower. It's about understanding how the mind works and training it like a muscle. And the good news? You don't need to become a monk or meditate for hours a day to apply these lessons. Buddhism offers simple yet profound techniques that can help you take control of your mind, reclaim your time, and sharpen your focus like a Zen master. In today's video, we will uncover 6 powerful Buddhist teachings that have the potential to transform your ability to concentrate, make better decisions, and live with greater intention. And here's the best part. The most valuable insights are waiting for you at the end of this video, so make sure to watch all the way through. If you truly want to break free from distractions and master your mind, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Also, I want to hear from you. What is your biggest struggle when it comes to staying focused? Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. Now, let's dive into these 6 transformative Buddhist lessons that will help you focus like a master. Lesson the potter's wheel of karma. Take ownership of your life. Life is like a lump of clay on a potter's wheel, initially formless but full of potential. You are the potter. Your hands, choices, and actions determine the final shape. Every decision you make, every action you take, contributes to shaping your future. However, many people fall into the illusion that fate, luck, or external influences dictate their destiny. Buddhism rejects this notion, emphasizing that karma is not a random force of luck, but the energy generated through intentional actions. The essence of karma is not about reward or punishment, but rather a cycle of cause and effect. Every thought, word, and action plants a seed in the soil of life, and over time, these seeds sprout and bear fruit. Just as the potter's wheel moves in response to the potter's hands, life responds to one's choices. When people blame external circumstances for their misfortunes, they unknowingly give up their power to reshape their reality. Instead of seeing themselves as victims of fate, individuals must recognize that they are the architects of their own existence. A corporate employee feels stuck in his career. He constantly complains about his demanding boss, uncooperative colleagues, and overwhelming workload. He believes that his lack of career growth is due to an unfair work environment rather than his own actions. One day, a successful coworker asks him, "Have you truly maximized your potential? Have you proactively learned new skills? Are you going above and beyond, or are you merely doing the bare minimum?" He begins reflecting on this advice and realizes that he has settled into a routine, doing only what is required, instead of seeking opportunities for growth. Rather than continuing to complain, he decides to develop new skills, propose innovative ideas, and take a more proactive approach to his work. Gradually, he notices a shift. His job becomes more engaging, his superiors begin to recognize his efforts, and new opportunities for career advancement arise. What he once perceived as injustice was, in reality, the consequence of his passive approach. When he took responsibility for his own growth, his life began to change. Taking control of one's life means understanding that challenges are not obstacles but opportunities for development. When faced with difficulties, it is easy to look for external reasons, an unfavorable environment, difficult people, or bad luck. However, by shifting the perspective inward, one can recognize that every hardship carries a lesson. Those who take responsibility for their lives do not waste time complaining. They take action. This shift in mindset creates momentum, leading to real transformation. Instead of waiting for circumstances to improve, one must focus on what they can control. This begins with conscious effort. Every day, ask yourself, what have I contributed to today's challenges? This question shifts the mindset from victimhood to empowerment, allowing one to see their role in both problems and solutions. When individuals stop blaming and start shaping, they reclaim the ability to direct their own path. A potter does not complain about formless clay. They mold it with patience and precision. Likewise, life does not unfold randomly. It is crafted through deliberate actions. To master one's fate, one must embrace the responsibility of shaping it. When approaching life with an understanding of karma, every moment becomes an opportunity to create a better future, not by waiting for change, but by becoming the catalyst for it. Lesson 2, the bridge of right intention. Define your purpose clearly. Most people live like a drifting ship on the ocean, moving aimlessly without direction. Buddhism teaches the principle of right intention, which emphasizes that clarity of purpose eliminates suffering. When one's goals are vague and undefined, energy is wasted on meaningless pursuits. Without a clear direction, the mind becomes scattered, jumping from one desire to another, unable to achieve deep fulfillment. Just as a ship without a destination is at the mercy of the tides, a person without clear intentions easily swayed by distractions, external pressures, and fleeting impulses. A wandering monk once asked his master, "How do I find my purpose in life?" The master handed him a bow and arrow and pointed toward a distant tree. "Hit the center of that target," he instructed. The young monk hesitated, struggling to aim. "I can't focus. It's too far," he admitted. The master smiled and replied, "Exactly. Without a clear target, you will always miss." The lesson was simple yet profound. Without precise intention, one's efforts become scattered and ineffective. In daily life, many people fall into the trap of chasing big desires, seeking success without defining what success truly means, longing for happiness without understanding what brings them fulfillment, or setting goals based on societal expectations rather than personal truth. This lack of clarity leads to frustration, procrastination, and self-doubt. When people lack a clear sense of purpose, they are more likely to be influenced by external forces, drifting from one goal to another without making meaningful progress. Instead of taking control of their path, they allow circumstances to dictate their direction. To apply the principle of right intention, one must define their goals with absolute clarity. A simple but powerful practice is to articulate goals in I am statements, reinforcing identity and purpose. Instead of saying, "I want to be successful," say, "I am committed to mastering my craft and making a meaningful impact in my field." Instead of wishing for happiness, affirm, "I am cultivating inner peace by practicing gratitude and mindfulness daily." This approach shifts goals from abstract wishes to concrete, actionable intentions, giving the mind a clear direction. Avoiding vague desires requires setting specific and purposeful objectives. When a person desires wealth, they must define what financial success means to them, whether it is achieving stability, freedom, or the ability to contribute to others. When someone seeks personal growth, they must specify the areas they want to improve, such as emotional intelligence, discipline, or communication skills. Without specificity, efforts become diluted, leading to frustration rather than progress. Each night, reflecting on the alignment between daily actions and long-term intentions is essential. Asking, "Did my actions today align with my purpose?" cultivates awareness and accountability. If the answer is no, adjustments must be made to ensure consistency between intention and action. Success is not achieved through occasional bursts of motivation, but through continuous alignment with one's purpose. Clarity of intention is the bridge between aspiration and achievement, transforming abstract desires into tangible realities. When the mind is focused, distractions lose their power, and every action moves a person closer to their true purpose. Lesson 3, the forge of self-mastery, discipline over distraction. Your mind is like a forge. Either you refine it through discipline, or it remains fragile and unshaped. Just as raw metal is of little use until it undergoes intense heat and hammering, the mind remains weak unless tempered by consistent effort. Buddhist monks dedicate their lives to mastering their thoughts, emotions, and impulses. because they understand that growth is not a choice, but a necessity. Stagnation is not merely the absence of progress. It is a form of suffering, a state where the mind remains vulnerable to distraction, doubt, and instability. Without discipline, one becomes a prisoner of fleeting desires, controlled by external influences rather than internal strength. A warrior once sought the strongest sword in the land, believing that such a weapon would make him invincible. He approached a renowned blacksmith, who presented him with an unfinished blade. Shocked by its dullness and lack of polish, the warrior dismissed it as worthless. The blacksmith, unfazed, explained, "This blade has not yet endured the fire. Without heat and hammering, it will remain weak." The lesson was clear. Just as a sword must be forged through intense pressure and fire to reach its full potential, the mind must undergo discipline to achieve true strength. A mind left untrained remains fragile, easily bent by hardship and distraction. In the modern world, distraction is the greatest enemy of self-mastery. The endless cycle of social media, entertainment, and instant gratification weakens mental resilience. People often mistake motivation for progress, relying on fleeting bursts of inspiration rather than disciplined practice. However, motivation is unreliable. It fluctuates with mood and circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, is consistent. It is the fire that strengthens the mind, making it impervious to external disturbances. Those who cultivate discipline do not wait for motivation. They act regardless of how they feel. To build self-mastery, one must consciously replace mindless distractions with meaningful growth. A simple but powerful practice is to exchange 15 minutes of social media scrolling for Buddhist readings, meditation, or deep reflection. Instead of passively consuming content that scatters attention, one can engage in practices that sharpen focus and clarity. Small, intentional changes compound over time, leading to profound transformation. True discipline is not about grand gestures, but about the consistency of effort, no matter how small. Committing to daily self-improvement is the foundation of mastery. Rather than chasing fleeting inspiration, one must cultivate structured routines that reinforce progress. Learning a new skill, practicing mindfulness, or refining a craft requires daily dedication. The key is to ask, what skill, if mastered, would change my life? Identifying a singular focus transforms scattered effort into deliberate practice. When discipline takes precedence over distraction, the mind becomes unbreakable, capable of withstanding any challenge. A person who forges their mind through discipline does not merely react to life, but shapes it with unwavering clarity and strength. Lesson 4, the archer's discipline. Tiny habits, big results. An archer does not hit the target by luck. Each precise shot is the result of disciplined training, consistent effort, and an unwavering commitment to improvement. Every day they refine their stance, adjust their aim, and strengthen their focus. Mastery is not achieved through sudden bursts of effort, but through small, deliberate actions repeated over time. Without persistence, even the most skilled individual will miss their mark. The principle of gradual improvement applies to all aspects of life, whether in personal growth, career development, or spiritual practice. Those who seek immediate results without laying a solid foundation often give up when they don't see progress. However, true success is built through small, consistent efforts that compound over time. A farmer once planted bamboo seeds and watered them diligently every day. Despite his efforts, for 4 years, nothing appeared above the ground. Others mocked him, calling his work pointless. Yet he remained patient, trusting the process. In the 5th year, seemingly overnight, the bamboo shot up 90 feet in just 6 weeks. The secret? Beneath the surface, the roots had been growing all along, forming a deep and strong foundation. The sudden growth was not an accident, but the result of years of unseen effort. This story illustrates a fundamental truth. Real progress is often invisible at first. People tend to give up too soon because they do not see immediate results, but meaningful change is happening beneath the surface, strengthening the foundation for future success. Applying this lesson requires focusing on small daily habits rather than expecting instant transformation. Many people believe that progress must be dramatic to be significant, but in reality, tiny efforts repeated consistently lead to extraordinary outcomes. Just 5 minutes of meditation each day may seem insignificant, But over time, it sharpens focus, enhances emotional resilience, and cultivates inner peace. Small habits, when sustained, reshape thought patterns, behaviors, and ultimately, one's entire life. One effective way to build sustainable habits is to attach them to existing routines. When a habit is linked to an already established behavior, it becomes effortless to maintain. For example, meditating for a few minutes right after brushing your teeth ensures consistency, as the brain associates it with an automatic daily routine. Similarly, adding a short gratitude practice before bedtime or reading a few pages of a book during morning coffee can seamlessly integrate personal growth into daily life. By making small habits a natural part of existing routines, discipline becomes effortless rather than forced. Success is built drop by drop. No single action will create mastery, but accumulated small efforts lead to profound change. Just as the bamboo tree needed years of invisible growth before it could soar, every step taken towards self-improvement lays the groundwork for long-term success. People often underestimate the power of consistency, believing that only dramatic efforts matter. However, real transformation happens in the background, shaped by repeated, disciplined actions. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not intelligence or talent, but the ability to persist in small efforts long enough to see results. Lesson 5. The Riverbank of Equanimity. Master what you can control. Life is like a river, sometimes flowing gently, other times raging with turbulence. Many people waste their energy fighting against the current, resisting change, and becoming consumed by things beyond their control. They struggle against circumstances, obsess over the past, and fear the future, exhausting themselves in battles they cannot win. True wisdom lies not in resisting the inevitable, but in becoming like the riverbank, steady, grounded, and unshaken. Just as the riverbank does not try to control the water but allows it to flow naturally, inner peace comes from mastering what is within one's control while letting go of everything else. A monk once carried a heavy rock wherever he went. A traveler, noticing his burden, asked, "Why do you carry such a heavy stone?" The monk replied, "This rock represents my worries. I carry them everywhere." The traveler laughed and said, "Why not just let go?" The monk smiled and without hesitation dropped the rock. In that moment, he was free. This story illustrates a profound truth. Most suffering comes not from circumstances, but from the refusal to release unnecessary burdens. People hold on to regret, resentment, and anxiety as if carrying a weight that serves no purpose. But just like the monk's rock, these burdens can be released in an instant with the right mindset. To apply this lesson, one must focus only on what can be controlled. Most external events, other people's opinions, the past, the unpredictable nature of life, are beyond one's influence. However, 3 things remain entirely within control: breath, effort, and ethics. When overwhelmed by stress or uncertainty, returning to these fundamentals restores balance. Breath anchors the mind in the present moment, effort determines one's progress, and ethics guide decisions with integrity. By mastering these elements, a person builds a strong inner foundation, unaffected by external chaos. A simple yet powerful practice is to ask, is this mine to solve? When faced with a challenge, distinguishing between what requires action and what simply needs to be let go prevents unnecessary worry. Many people stress over things that are not theirs to fix, global uncertainties, other people's choices, or imagined worst-case scenarios. If the answer to this question is no, then the only logical response is to release it. Holding on to what cannot be changed is like trying to hold water in clenched fists. It only creates tension and suffering. Visualizing worries as leaves floating down a river is a helpful way to cultivate detachment. Rather than grasping tightly to fears and anxieties, one can observe them from a distance, allowing them to pass without becoming entangled. Just as a river does not cling to any particular drop of water, the mind does not need to cling to every passing thought. By letting go of unnecessary burdens, life becomes lighter, decisions become clearer, and energy is directed toward meaningful action, rather than wasted on resistance. Mastering what is within control while surrendering to what is not is the key to enduring peace and unshakable resilience. Lesson 6, the Phoenix of Right View. Embrace struggle as growth. Fire has the power to destroy, but it also has the power to create. The same forests that burned down eventually regrow, stronger and more resilient than before. Likewise, struggles, failures, heartbreaks, and losses are not punishments but necessary phases of transformation. People often see challenges as obstacles, but in reality, they are catalysts for growth. Without struggle, there is no evolution. Just as fire refines metal, adversity refines character, stripping away weakness and revealing inner strength. Those who resist hardship remain stuck, but those who embrace it emerge wiser, stronger, and more capable. A monk once sought refuge in various monasteries, hoping to dedicate his life to spiritual practice. Yet every monastery he applied to rejected him. Feeling lost, he retreated to the mountains and spent years meditating in solitude. Though he initially saw rejection as failure, he later realized it was preparation. His time in isolation deepened his wisdom, and when he returned to society, he became one of the greatest teachers in history. What seemed like exclusion was actually redirection. Life was not denying him, it was shaping him. This story illustrates that setbacks often contain hidden blessings. What feels like a door closing is sometimes the universe guiding you toward a better path. To apply this lesson, one must reframe how they perceive setbacks. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they should ask, "How is this happening for me?" This shift in perspective transforms hardship from something to endure into something to learn from. Every difficulty, no matter how painful, carries a lesson. A failed relationship teaches self-worth, a lost job opens doors to new opportunities, and rejection builds resilience. Growth does not come from comfort, it comes from discomfort. Those who embrace struggle as a teacher gain the wisdom to navigate life's uncertainties with grace. Every challenge contains the seed of wisdom. Instead of seeing difficulties as barriers, one should approach them with curiosity, asking, "What can this teach me?" The greatest lessons often arise from the darkest moments. Hardship forces self-reflection, encourages adaptability, and strengthens emotional endurance. People who avoid discomfort remain stagnant, while those who engage with it develop strength beyond what they thought possible. Just as muscles grow stronger through resistance, the mind and spirit strengthen through adversity. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. The events of life are neutral. Their meaning depends on interpretation. Two people may experience the same hardship, yet one grows from it while the other remains bitter. The difference is mindset. When struggle is seen as an opportunity, it loses its power to create suffering. Instead, it becomes fuel for transformation. Fire may consume, but it also purifies. Those who rise from hardship like the phoenix are not weakened by difficulty, but reborn through it. By embracing struggle as part of growth, one transforms adversity into strength, setbacks into wisdom, and pain into purpose. Conclusion: the path to mastery focus isn't just about eliminating distractions, it's about choosing what truly matters. These 6 Buddhist lessons offer a blueprint to mastering focus. 1. Own your life. Stop blaming, start shaping. 2. Set clear intentions. Define your goals like a Zen archer. 3. Embrace discipline. Small habits forge greatness. 4. Commit to consistency. Success is built daily. 5. Let go of what you can't control. Be the riverbank, not the storm. 6. See struggles as growth. Every challenge refines you. The world will always be full of distractions, but you are not a ship tossed by the waves. You are the lighthouse. Stand firm, shine your light, and guide your own life with unwavering clarity. Are you ready to focus like a master?